Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Cooper with the Mountain Bike Co-op, and today is officially a good day. It's new bike day. New bike day! Dang. Wow. That is beautiful. Here she is. So this is my new bike. It's the 2021 Devinci Troy GX model in the full sand color. And this is the first full suspension mountain bike that I've ever purchased new. So it was a big deal and a big purchase for me, and I couldn't be more excited to have this as my next dedicated trail bike. In today's video, we're going to be going over the specs, geometry, and ultimately why I decided the Devinci Troy as my next trail bike. Devinci says the Troy is a quiver killer, and it's their all-mountain offering that's been completely redesigned in 2021. With 29-inch wheels, 140 millimeters of rear travel, 150 up front, and geometry numbers that aren't too radical, I thought this bike would be the perfect all-rounder for here in the Pacific Northwest. While this year's bike did get longer and slacker, it is rather conservative compared to what you'd find other brands doing with their all-mountain bikes. This bike comes with a flip chip, allowing you to adjust the geometry, and I instantly put it into the low option, which gives you a 65-degree head tube angle and a 76.9-degree seat tube angle. This size large has 480 millimeters of reach, and all of these numbers can be adjusted by half a degree or 5 additional millimeters if you opt for that higher position with the flip chip. The suspension is the patented split pivot system that uses a concentric axle pivot rather than a horse link to help reduce braking forces on the suspension. A trend that Devinci's adopted is the rider optimized chainstays. And this just means as your frame increases, the size of your chainstays also increase. On this size large, the chainstays are in a good middle ground with 440 millimeters. Not too short, not too long. This should be a playful bike while remaining really planted on the descents. On this build, you get a full carbon frame with a threaded bottom bracket, the Fox Performance Elite up front, the highly adjustable Fox X2 in the rear, the SRAM GX drivetrain with the new 10 to 52 tooth cassette, a ton of stopping power with the SRAM Code R brakes, a race face AR wheel set, and Maxxis Minions front and rear. So why the Devinci Troy? First is the frame. I absolutely love this frame. I think it looks so cool. The color is great, the sharp lines. When I first saw this, I just knew I had to have it. So you may think it's ugly, but I love it, so I'm a happy guy. Second is Devinci. Devinci is a small boutique brand out of Quebec, and there's not a lot of them out here in the Pacific Northwest. So I wanted to rock a bike that's gonna be a little bit different than what you'd find at the trailhead. So I looked at Transitions, I looked at Yetis, and I ultimately decided on this just to be a little bit different. Might not be the right way to buy a bike, but that's what I was looking at. Third is the quiver killerness of the Troy. I wanted a bike that can handle absolutely anything that I threw at it, from all-day epics to semi-sendy days at the bike park. And this bike in particular, the 65-degree head tube angle, just feels right for me. I test rode a Transition Sentinel and Norco Sight, and I just did not like how slacked out those front ends were. So this felt a perfect medium for me and a perfect all-rounder that I can take and do absolutely anything with. So that's the first look at my 2021 Devinci Troy. I'm pretty stoked to get this thing out on the trails, and I'll be releasing a first ride video in the near future, so stay tuned. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.